Hello, everyone, and welcome to Jump Up Supercast, the only podcast where I refuse to appear unless I'm hosting. I'm your host for this week, Muzzy, and joining me today is William.
I'm not used to having to do this part. Hello.
Brandon.
I am used to having to do this part, just one step earlier. Hello.
Ills.
Can we all ask why Will is abdicating his responsibility right now?
And Saf.
Forever last. Forever in this part. Forever weird and random.
I don't even know what that means, but okay.
It's okay.
William is here, but he's not hosting because he's feeling lazy.
I may mysteriously disappear because I'm going to fall asleep during this podcast. That will be the canon reason.
Damn.
So just know if he disappears, he fell asleep. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Wow.
The thing is,
However,
Saf, though, the reason that Saf is always last, at least for me, is because it's a one-syllable name. Saf, you want to be your full name? Because otherwise, you're going to be last forever.
See, no. Saf, Saf, I always just thought he goes last because we just don't want to respond to what he said, and we just kind of move on.
Also true. It does add a couple seconds.
First, it'll throw everyone else off after that. You know what I mean? They'll be like, "What the hell did he just say?" And it's just So,
you see, Saf, I always thought they saved you for last because they saved the best for last. That's what I always thought, personally.
Well, you were wrong.
You're.
However, we have a podcast to record, so let's move on, shall we, to the news, which there isn't much actually. Summer. It's how it goes in summer. But we have a few things to talk about, including the new Nintendo Switch model. Ooh.
So did we talk about a new model last week? What the fuck?
Yeah, we did talk about a new model last week. The Nintendo Switch Lite, however, today, yesterday, whenever.
Tuesday.
the Nintendo announced a brand new model for the Nintendo Switch. Announced is a weird way to phrase this because it kind of just at least from the NOA side, was just quietly the website was updated.
It appeared.
Yeah. So, if you don't know, the new model it's still called Nintendo Switch. It's basically just replacing the current model that's out in the wild. Same 32 gig storage, all that. The big difference is the battery life has extended like crazy. Now it went from 3.5 to 5 hours to approximately 2.5 to 3. It's like 3 to 5 hours. But now it's 4.5 to 9 hours. Mm-hmm. So up to 9, and specifically they quoted Breath of the Wild having about 5.5 hours of playtime, which on the old model you'd only get 3. So that's a big bump.
Almost
that's
double.
even a bump from the Switch Lite, which they were advertising the Switch Lite had better battery, but this has even better battery life than that.
Yeah.
So they're approaching 3DS battery life.
No, this is
3DS was 6.
Yeah.
So this is beyond that.
Well, was 3DS 6 with the 3D turned on?
No. So the new XL models maxed out with everything off, including the new 2DS XL, at about 6.5 hours. So this goes even beyond the 3DS models.
This is closer to original DS.
That's pretty good, man.
Yeah,
crazy.
And you're probably wondering how the hell did they put a bigger battery in there? No, it is using a brand new CPU, the Mariko chip. Which, in layman's terms, basically it's just more efficient, Can run at the same power, but just way more efficiently, leading to these crazy extra battery life.
Which is funny, because last week we talked about how in the OS updates there was mentions of the new model that we now know is this. And we said, I wonder, are they going to put it towards performance? They're going to put it towards battery life? Who knows, right? Seemingly, they went all in on battery life. They're not advertising this as hey, this game could make some games run better, but they seemingly are not focusing on that. They're focusing on battery. That's the selling point. Because everything else, form factor is the same.
I guess docked mode this doesn't affect dock mode in the slightest, I guess.
Yeah.
And especially because it's more of a quiet revision, I don't think that they will be having performance profiles that are exclusive to the new model. Yeah. It just doesn't make sense to me to do that because it's they're pushing this as it's just the Switch you know and love, but with better battery life. So
if there was anything, I would think that the most you could hope for. I don't even know if we're gonna get this. Is there's the boost mode with PS4 Pro, right? Which is just because the native internals are faster. There's no like patch for it, but just you press it and like it improves frame rates in a couple of spots.
Nintendo would never implement
but they're never going to do that. But I mean, like, it would be
Nintendo
kind of
would
game by
never.
game, right? Monolith Soft decides to
But,
make it, you know.
On the current Switch model, Nintendo already has a sort of boost mode per se that they recently, because if you don't know, the Switch hardware as it is, it's very underclocked compared to what the chip can do, right? However, they unlocked a brand new boost mode, which basically to help loading times. So like just during the loading screen, it'll the CPU will run at a faster clock rate and allow that loading time to be a lot smaller.
Which is Breath of the Wild was the one that people noticed
Breath of the Wild
first.
and Odyssey implemented it, and Crash Team Racing this week just implemented it for the first time.
Yeah.
So, fun little fact. So, yeah, I would say the Switch upgrade, like, it's not like if you're a current owner, you probably don't need it. That battery life is pretty great, though. That's a fantastic battery.
Yeah.
But, like, it's not this must-have for sure, you know? It's like, and
Just
they
buy
say
an
that
external battery.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you could just buy an
I
external
mean, that's if
battery.
you currently own one, right? The idea
Yeah.
is that this is for people that are going to be buying
But, like,
online.
this is mostly for new owners, you know?
Yeah.
But cool. And I think that with this, I feel the flagship Switch kind of justifies the $100 premium over the Lite even more in a lot of ways, you know?
Yeah.
Because it's like, not only do you get the ability to do TV mode and play with Joy-Con stuff, but also you get really good battery life.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's maybe another selling point to, do I want to spend that extra $100 or do I just want to get the Lite?
Yeah.
So yeah, pretty minor stuff overall though. Definitely, I don't think any of us are probably upgrading to this model.
No.
But,
Upgrading to the light.
No.
are you
Oh,
really?
you are?
I mean, when they come out with a good theme for it, yeah.
All right.
Oh, okay.
Fair play.
You don't give a shit about dock mode anymore. You're just like, what?
Did I ever give a shit about that?
yeah.
That's a good question.
So like, yeah, you like, okay, cool. It
I
is.
mean,
it is
I play in
very
bed
light.
exclusively, so don't need
Yeah.
Did you know that thing is lighter than the new 3DS XL? That Switch
I did
Lite?
not. Wow.
It's very impressive.
Yeah, they really, that thing is lightweight. It's bigger, but it's like fucking lighter than the 3DS XL. It's really something cool.
I
But-
think. Sorry, I think I want to quickly sort of touch on some people that were like, because there was sort of the reaction like, oh, is this it, right? Because some people, when they heard the 2 revisions and that one's, you know, going to be more handheld, I thought was, okay, there's going to be a Switch Pro, right? But like, I think that people, I mean, obviously that was, if you look at Nintendo's history, like besides the new 3DS X, they don't do, that's not really their sort of path that they go with these things, and you know, especially in the second year of a console's lifespan. But also, like, I mean, I think it's interesting to note that like the PS4 Pro and the Xbox One X are the examples that we have of a mid-generation leap, right? Yes. And like the thing that benefits more is the system that's not already selling well, right? The PS4 Pro proportionally didn't do as well as Xbox One X did in comparison to their original versions because people already had PS4s, and so the amount of people that actually will ever upgrade if you give a Pro is lower than you would expect being online, right? And I think that's always the thing that's important to remember, is that like we look for like the upgrade market and we talk about ourselves because that's how our experience is, but for most people that's not how they look at buying consoles. It's
it's
more
like
you know,
most people are kind of just fine with like the first hardware they buy, and it's worth noting. I mean, this year the Switch is already having, at least in the United States, the best year a console has had all generation long.
Hot damn.
Sales wise, so that's pretty crazy.
which is
So, yeah,
which is
I-
funny because you know online people sort of think that the first half of the Switch this year was light on games, and like in some
Barren.
ways it was, but like it does not matter in the sales. Like Smash and Zelda and Mario Kart, that's enough. It'll keep
I
selling.
mean, I think it shows that Switch has built up this kind of like self-sustaining library, right? That it doesn't need a new release every week to keep momentum. Just like you said, Smash, Zelda, Mario Kart, Splatoon, just like all these games, Mario Party, you just add all these up, and it's like, man, this is a really attractive console, right?
Well, that and like there's a shit ton of indies on it, and the eShop is constantly being updated.
Yeah, I mean, there's just constant, and then of course, like, and if it's doing this well in the first half of the year, I can't imagine what happens from Mario Maker onwards. We're just gonna have a constant pace of new releases.
Oh my god, fucking dropping nuclear bombs all over the place.
Speaking of one of those, the final piece of the puzzle for Nintendo's 2019 lineup, Luigi's Mansion 3, has a release date. it is October 31st, Halloween. It
Wow.
is not a Friday. Worth noting.
I know.
Thursday.
It's so great. They did it for the meme.
Here's a
I
question.
mean, that's great. Like, that's a great, like, you know, Luigi's Mansion, Halloween. It fits.
Yeah.
Anytime in October would have been fine, personally, but, you know.
Yeah.
You
might
think,
as well,
you think
might
that was
as well go
the
for
hold
date,
up?
I guess.
You think the hold up was their internal struggle? Like, do we actually release a game on a Thursday? Or like...
Right.
This was months of
Like-
debate internally.
Yeah,
it's
it probably
are
was.
we doing the Friday before, or do we just want to hit that date, right? And it's just,
Yeah.
personally, I feel like all of October lately is just Halloween month, you know? Like,
Yeah.
that's just how the marketing goes and stuff. But
Yeah.
whatever.
I mean, because that's the thing. I mean, and this is silly and doesn't matter, right? But like, I do like to go. We talked about this, I think, like last year on the podcast, right? I like to have like a bunch of Halloween-y games, not even horror games, but like costume quests, very clearly Halloween inspired, right? Like a bunch of games that sort of are in the spirit of the season. And like the week before Luigi's Mansion would have been fun, but also loading up on the day of when it's spooky will be cool too. I mean, Mario's
yeah.
dead, so
Mario's dead.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Luigi's Mansion has a release date. Very cool. Halloween. In other news, though, that's not all we got.
You sure about that?
because- Well, I mean, we're really running thin on news, but Sega has decided to remaster a Super Monkey Ball game, and you may be like, "Oh my God, Super Monkey Ball 1 and 2, right? That's the one everyone." No,
No.
Super Monkey Ball Banana Blitz is being remastered for PS4, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch, and PC. I think PC.
Wait, it is coming out on Xbox One? I thought it wasn't.
I might be lying, but as far
I think you're lying because I would have noted that.
Okay, well, it's at least coming to Switch and PS4. I don't give a
Okay,
shit about
yeah.
the other platforms, truth be told.
Okay.
No, it is. It
We're
is
here
coming
to
to
report
Xbox,
the
my
news,
dude,
sir.
Brandon. Good news.
See?
What, it is?
According to
Yeah.
Polygon.com.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
hell
multi-platform.
yeah,
Yeah, because
dude.
Sega puts
Hell yeah.
everything on everything, honestly.
Right.
But yeah, so this is, I mean, I don't, hell yeah, but this game fucking sucks.
Wow. I never
just-
played Banana Blitz, so I don't know.
I truly do not understand. Like, it's like, first of all, remastering a Wii game cannot be that much easier than remastering a GameCube game, right? Like, I mean,
Yeah.
surely.
I mean, the Wii was infamous for having very similar internals to the GameCube, right? Like, that was part
Yeah.
of it.
Yeah.
So,
How tough would it have been to just throw 1, 2, and Banana Blitz together?
I mean, you know, they want to maximize the money, you know, just put one
Sure.
game. Yeah.
But it just seems strange
if
that
you're
this
gonna
is
pick
the
one,
first
you would
one.
pick the first game. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the thing. That's what I truly don't understand. Because, like, I mean, the Katamari Damacy remaster had come out recently on Switch and PC, and that did wonderful, you know?
Yeah.
And the thing is,
Speaking
this
of-
trailer, it
Speaking
was a
of-
garbage trailer, first of all. Did you guys watch the trailer? It was the most bizarre trailer I've ever seen in my life.
It's
For Super Monkey Ball?
Banana Blitz.
Yeah, I mean, I like the new logo. Looks clean.
the clean looking logo.
It's just, this is such a, like, Japanese company move, you know, of, like, we did the thing you want, but in the worst way possible. Right?
Yeah.
And it's like
Really
I mean,
fast.
angry. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna quick plug. Speaking of, this is a problem I have with Katamari, like you said, Moose, is that the first game gets re-released, but nothing else does, right?
Oh, sure.
So we have to
yeah.
play We Love Katamari on the Game Club. There's no official way to play that game right now,
No?
but it is on the
Well,
Game
I
Club,
mean,
so look forward to
there
that.
I mean, I'm sure it's
Play the
coming
PlayStation
soon,
2.
though.
Wow.
With how well Katamari Damacy did, I feel like the other ones have to come.
Yeah.
Yeah,
to
man,
Switch at some point.
the story of the second game will hold up well if that happens.
Fun fact on Super Monkey Ball: the Switch version of the trailer has like 300,000 views or some shit, compared to like 5,000 on the other platform.
Yeah, I mean, this is a series that's associated with Nintendo, right? Like,
Yeah.
Crash
Yeah.
Team Racing does better on PlayStation because Crash is associated with PlayStation, you know?
Mhm.
But this is, like you said, sort of circling back, the Monkey Ball 1 and 2, I think, like, there is a segment of people that there's a very hardcore and, like, engaged fan base. There was a Kickstarter game that last year got a lot of money pitching itself as, hey, we're going to make a Monkey Ball like you want. And, like, it's weird that this is the one you pick, you know? But
Here's the thing.
I feel like this thing is gonna do kind of well regardless because like people are thirsty
There's a
for
desire.
Monkey Ball.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
like Sega, do the right thing. You know?
What were you saying, Brand? Sorry.
Well, the thing you said, people associated with Nintendo, right? And which is true because right when Monkey Ball came out, it was a GameCube exclusive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just like those bastards at Capcom, they fucking pulled that shit and put it on PlayStation 2 and Xbox.
Well,
It broke my fucking heart.
Yeah, I
God
mean that.
Okay.
What a tough man to be portrayed.
It is interesting though, because like I specifically brought up Katamari because that was not on the GameCube, right?
No.
But I think these weird niche like singular idea games, probably because of the way the Switch has built up this library of indie games, right? I feel like the Switch audience is very receptive towards these kind of games.
Yeah.
You know? Which is why I think Monkey Ball will do well on the Switch, because
Yeah.
it's just like the kind of game like people are into on that platform.
And
Besides just like having that Nintendo audience baked in, it's just like I think the Switch audience is very receptive to like.
I mean, it's games where the negatives of the Switch don't manifest themselves, right? The negatives of the Switch is that it is not as strong as the PS4 and the Xbox One, and some of your games might look worse. You know, you're going to play Mortal Kombat 11, it's not going to look like Mortal Kombat 11 on PS4. Monkey Ball, I mean, barring this being a bad port, what's the difference, you know?
Yeah.
Like Katamari,
like,
who cares, you know?
Like, oh, sure, it's 4K on the PS4, but like, I'm sure that matters for Monkey Ball, you know? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Holy shit! Fucking Katamari is $30 on Switch.
It is $30, and
Get outta
Monkey
here.
Ball probably will be too.
That's what they like to do.
Yeah.
Fuck this! I'm not buying it.
Katamari goes on sale pretty often, though, is the one benefit. But, yeah, I mean, I think this also just speaks to a larger thing of companies managing their franchise. Because, like, the thing is, we've started having in previous generations, the re-releases become more and more often, right? But I feel like Japanese companies in particular, it's only been, like, the last couple years, right? Where, like, Konami, they're not making games, but they're putting out a Contra collection. They're putting out a Castlevania collection, right? Like,
Those were actually good.
yeah, well, no, but I'm saying, but like they're managing their library, and they're still making money off these games that people still want to play. Like, Sega is one that's weird because they don't quite do it in the way that you would hope, right? Like, they have that Genesis Mini that's coming out that's cool, right? But like Monkey Ball, this should be a thing that's like just put it out on whatever, right? Like, it's fine.
I mean,
But
it's like
instead it's
no
like-
effort, and you could make a ton of money, right?
Yeah.
But like they mismanage it, right? It's like this could have been something that just very quick even a cash in remaster of the first game, but it would have done great, right? It would have had.
You say that.
it would have-
that, but like I think it's going to make a lot of money besides itself.
Yeah, but I think it could do even better if it was the Monkey Ball game that people liked. You know?
Yeah, and because
and
But
it
the
just
people
speaks to
who
a
aren't
larger thing of,
receptive
like-
of that, or that are just going to see it and be like, I know Monkey Ball.
Yeah.
They're going to buy it anyway.
Sure. But
Yeah,
like
I mean-
also Sega's not like, you know, like Will mentioned Capcom, Konami, like they, you know, re-releasing their game Square. Sega does not leverage their library the same way, right? Like, I mean, when was the last time Sonic 3, which is a Sonic game? When was
What?
the last
I
time-
don't get that. I don't get that shit at all. What is up with Sonic 3?
Yeah,
It's not as good as Sonic 2.
Well,
Well,
that's
like, so put it
debatable.
out,
Say
you
what
know?
will about
Like-
how it ranks against, but the point is, like, even a beloved Sonic game, it's so hard to find a way to play it, right? And they're not good at leveraging their IP. You know, they're not good at utilizing their treasure trove of old content, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I think there was a point where they were doing a decent job with like Sonic Mega Collection and that Sonic Genesis collection that came out on like the Xbox 360 and PS3
Yeah.
had like a ton of stuff. It had Master System games extra. It had like
yeah, but
basically every
even
Genesis
that. See,
game.
my problem with that too, though, is that I mean, you didn't notice it at the time because like it's just whatever. But like the emulation is bad on those games in those collections. You know, like they don't.
Well, I
they
mean, I
don't
think
really
there's two
take proper
questions, of it, right?
care of their classic library, and that's just frustrating to see.
Well,
Yeah.
just as a side thing, they've been low key releasing like Sega games on the eShop, you know,
A lot,
here
yeah.
and there.
Oh yeah, Sega
Sega
Ages,
Ages
those
is
are great.
cool.
You know, like
Yeah.
M2 is doing the emulation, and it's like truly like just the best versions of those games. You know, and they're doing great work with Sega Ages, right?
Yeah.
But like,
I just found out some shocking news. I looked at the Fantasy Star entry on the eShop. This game has this game has a map now. It didn't have a map before.
You're-
Do you know how hard this game was without a map? I had to draw my own map for this game. It was so fucking difficult.
Are you talking about Phantasy Star 1?
Yes.
Oh, with those fucking 3D
Oh my
ass
God.
like things that you go in.
My fucking mind is blown. This game is probably like 20 times easier than when I played it.
Well,
did
they
it.
just and see that's the length that M2 goes to though, you know? Like they
Yeah.
added the spin dash to Sonic 1 just cuz they could, you know? Like
Yeah. That stuff's cool.
yeah. But the Sega Ages is such a small it's such a slow churn, which is fair cuz they put work into it.
They put time and effort, right? Yeah.
But like, you know, but like this monkey ball thing, right? It's just it's frustrating.
Yeah, because people were saying, well, you know, it won't have the motion controls tied to it as much because it's going to be on Xbox and PS4, right?
Yeah.
And maybe some of the issues people can have, they can fix. But I feel like people will be more willing to give that stuff a shot if the games they liked were already there, you know? And that's the difference, right? Like Final Fantasy VII Remake, in my mind, I'm more willing to let it be weird because Final Fantasy VII, the best version of that game to play it's on everything, right?
Especially now they finally patched the goddamn music bug.
Yeah, and so you know, like sort of have that approach of like keep this original experience for the people that are still heavily attached to that while going back and changing the things that might need to get changed, you know, to make it work for a more modern experience.
Yeah. So I mean that's that. Like Sega, do a better job, you know. That's all I gotta say.
I think they're doing great.
I don't know
Fucking
if this
adding
qualifies
maps.
as news, but it's pretty funny. Final Fantasy 14. They are in various regions. They're doing different kinds of distributions, so you can get a fat black chocobo to ride as your mount in the game. In North America, all you have to do is buy $20 worth of video game product. Didn't even have to be FF14 related, just video game product on Amazon in the month of June, right? In China,
$20. Yikes.
Well, yeah, but it's $20.
There's just on anything on
Which is
Amazon.
whatever
So if
you
you
buy,
spent $20
including
on there,
FF14 time cards, because you're gonna need that anyway, or just anything video game related. If you buy $20 worth of stuff, you would have got that. But in China, they partnered with Kentucky Fried Chicken (KFC) to do so. Basically, they have these family packs, right? They're made for 4 people. And it's like 2 burgers and some fried chicken and 4 drinks and some other bullshit. There's a lot of food, right?
Clearly not designed for one
multiply that
person.
by 4 because it's actually per person everything I just listed. So it's like the 4 of you and you have to finish the entire everything before you can get your code for the Black Chocobo. So FF14 fans are consuming a stupid amount of KFC.
There is. They're having to do real life like raid boss organization. Like, okay, we're all gonna go to KFC together, and like today we're all gonna go. This will be for his code. We're gonna go the next day get his code, and like there's people that are trying to solo the raid boss known as Colonel Sanders, who are eating 50 pieces of chicken and 6 burgers over the course of a day.
You know,
it's amazing.
The full
How do
list
they
of food-
know when? Wait, you have to finish all your
You have to eat it in
food?
store. You have to eat it in store in front of the employees. Like,
Oh, this is garbage. What?
it's a whole challenge. Yeah. So each person has to eat 1 double chicken burger, 1 vegan mushroom burger, 1 5-piece chicken nuggets, 2 original recipe chicken, 2 New Orleans chicken wings. By the way, it's not New Orleans, it's New Orleans.
Okay.
New Orleans.
China. It's different.
1 old Beijing spicy duck roll, 2 Pepsis, and 2 peach oolong teas.
Hang on.
Those are both large.
2 Pepsis and like 2 regular cups. Pepsi.
2 large Pepsis.
2 large Pepsis and 2 large peach. I feel
All
like
for a fucking.
all
For a fat black chocobo. You will get fat for the flat back chocobo.
Flat back chocolate.
That's fine. Listen, it's
different thing. I feel like the drinks is actually the hardest part of that. Anyone else feel that? 4 large drinks.
That's a lot of liquid.
Yeah,
That's a
feel
lot of
like
liquid.
I feel like it's insulting that they make you eat a vegan burger along with all the chicken.
Yeah, no one's happy in that. The vegans are mad and the
Yeah.
non-vegans are mad.
That's just what. Choose one. Pick a
Why
side.
did you
What
throw
the
that
fuck?
in there? That's the grossest sounding thing to me.
Maybe to
mushroom vegan
promote
burger?
the vegan mushroom burger. It wasn't
By
sound that
fitting
well.
it in with the rest of the meat.
Yeah. Here, eat like 2 tons of meat and 1 fucking vegan burger.
Yeah, you'll.
Yeah.
That just sounds like bad advertising for vegans.
No, it's a
Yeah.
palate
Gross.
cleanser. You know, you ate all that fried chicken. Here's a vegan burger.
No.
I don't
I
think
don't want
so.
to eat that.
I don't know, but yeah, you know, if you want that fat black chocobo.
I mean, I
Flat
just
black.
love that they used the party finder in FF14 to find real life parties to eat the KFC. That's my
Wait.
favorite thing in the world.
So if the employees are watching you, can you have other people eat the stuff, or do you have
I
to
don't
eat
know
it
the
yourself?
specifics.
Yeah, I mean, it's a
did-
family meal, so you can have other people do it with you, but only one of you only get one code.
Do they have
Man.
a person on each shift? Like, hey, you're gonna watch people eat fucking chocobo.
I mean, I don't
meals
think
today.
that many people are taking the challenge, to be fair, but you know, enough people. It is funny though. I saw there was a funny social media post of one of the Chinese players who took part in this. He went to the restroom after eating like half his meal, came back, and they replenished the whole fucking meal.
Oh.
It's like when you de-aggro the boss, his health refills.
Oh Jesus Christ!
American KFC.
It's
amazing.
Fucking
Yeah.
notes.
Hey, I mean, hey, you're DPS. You gotta keep wailing away, or he's gonna heal. All right.
Yeah.
Jesus
The ads
Christ.
show up
sounds
of
like
extra.
some shit. This sounds like some shit that would happen in America, but it's not happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, somehow, right? We
We're
get it
importing
easy.
our-
Just spend some money on Amazon.
Yeah.
But yeah, all right. So that's FF14 news. By the way, I've been playing and it is wonderful.
It's the best review game of the year so far. I'm so mad at my fantasy league.
yeah, FF14 Shadowbringers, best reviewed game of the year.
Until next week.
What's happening next? Oh, Fire Emblem. I was like, what's the next week? Speaking of Fire Emblem, I don't know if we want to mention it real quick, but there's some previews out. Very positive reviews. I got
Yeah?
previews.
Did we
I
not?
should say.
We did some of this
Yeah,
last
we did.
week.
Oh, you
yeah.
did that last week. I apologize.
Yeah.
Sorry. I didn't.
Maybe you should be here.
Word to the wise. I think we can do this though, right?
Uh huh.
Because there's been a lot of headlines being like, "Hey, Fire Emblem, it's got gay stuff now. Congratulations."
What?
But it has already had that.
It did, but it had the one
It
in
had
face, right?
one. Now there's like multiple.
Now,
but like,
yeah, now there's 6, right?
So
But
there's
everyone was
5?
writing it as though it was everyone was. You could match with anyone, no matter who you were. That's not the case.
No,
There's-
there's like very.
That's not the case in real life either. So I don't know
okay,
why
but the
we-
real
This
life
is a
argument
fucking
doesn't
Yeah,
work
but this is
Come
a
either.
on.
fucking game. Come on.
It's a game about player choice, and it's also like a game where it's like. It's just as unrealistic as every person of the opposite sex being into you. Like,
Yeah.
that's just fucking unrealistic.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty unrealistic. Too.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, but I would, but
I
just
mean, the whole thing.
a
And
bunch
this
of
isn't
people
to-
were not specifying that it's a smaller number. So,
Yes.
like, if you were looking at this, planning, I'm going to play this person or this person, or I'm going to play as a guy or a girl based on that. Word to the wise, you can find who those characters are out
Basically,
right now.
People are just a little disappointed because the male gay options are kind of mediocre because it's 2 old guys and then 1 bland character.
That sucks.
And people are
Damn.
just.
Now, we're not here to
kinda-
insult the old people of the world.
Yeah, old people can be gay.
That's not what I think the people are annoyed about. I think there's just a lot of cute
People are a
anime
little
boys that they would like
disappointed
today.
'cause, Claude especially gave very gay vibes.
There's a couple lines where he's like, "I wish, like, I want to like caress you," and you're like, "But he's also not gay."
Is that the main
Yeah,
yellow dude?
He
Yeah.
can't be gay?
Oh yeah, I totally thought
He
you
cannot be
did, but
gay,
like-
no. But
What
the
fuck?
But Edelgard can, and so it's like female Byleth can romance all 3 lords, but male Byleth does not have. He can only romance
Byleth.
Edelgard.
I mean, it's a good thing I'm playing Femme Byleth, then. That's,
Yeah, yeah.
tell you, man.
But
Yeah,
it's just
so
it's
that
a little
was-
disappointing, like they
It
could've
is,
done-
yeah.
I'm glad that they put more gay stuff, but like they could have done better. Is the point? And I wish
Yeah,
they-
but I was mostly just doing that as a PSA because I think that like a bunch of websites only wrote the headline and didn't do much else. So
I mean, it's still good. I'm glad that it's there.
It's
too,
progress.
you know?
It's
Baby
progress,
steps.
but like
Yeah.
you can always
Slow and
wish for
steady.
more though. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
we're still not at the ideal spot yet.
you would hope
and-
that the next game would have more and more, and eventually
Yeah.
we would get.
Well,
full
are the
parity.
people that can be gay? Are they exclusively gay?
No,
No.
no.
you-
Okay,
you
so
can-
that's
you can-
kind of dumb.
Yeah.
If they're gonna do it that way, they should do it all ways.
Yeah,
you know
it's
what I
just
mean?
have everybody
Like-
can be gay.
Yeah, like if the people that can be gay aren't exclusively gay, it's like you might as well just have everybody be like that. That doesn't really make sense.
Especially because only only the Avatar character can romance people anyway. So it's like at that point, just let let the player decide.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Uh,
At that point, if you're gonna make it like that, then at that point, just make it like for everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I want a full option of every girl. to be
Like
mine.
I would get if the people who were gay were like exclusively gay, and that's it.
Yeah, because
Like, that would-
if you want to use the realistic argument, right? It's like it's not even that, because it's like, oh, okay, there's like, oh, everyone can be straight, everyone can like romance, like have a straight relationship, but then like a couple are also bi, and it's like, okay, that's like,
that's
yeah.
That's kind of dumb. So yeah, I get it.
yeah.
But
so.
I mean, like you said, just we have appreciate that there's progress, but hope for more. Is the sort of thing. But either way, I was mostly like I said.
Yeah,
saying
I
that.
mean, I don't think it's a bad thing for people to kind of voice their like, hey, intelligent systems, please, like, Claude should.
Because people deal with this because they're passionate, I mean, that's the thing with a lot of outrage is like depending on how you put it.
But yeah, so that's that. I don't think there's much other news to talk about. Truth be told,
That game company has a game,
yeah,
and no one's
I mean,
talked about it for a year and a half, and I'm mad.
Yeah, so it's a game called Sky. They renamed it to Sky Children of the Light. It's exclusively on Apple platforms right now, so iOS and tvOS.
Well, this is the thing.
Um,
It got announced. Sorry, go ahead. But it got announced.
I don't even know what the fuck you guys are talking about.
so
Journey?
The creators of Journey have
I know the game. Yeah.
that is exclusive. It just came out literally last week on all iOS devices. It's gonna come out to other platforms later. It's a free-to-play game. It's kind of like Journey, more online focused. It does have microtransactions, though I don't know of what variety.
They don't seem aggressive.
But yeah, but no, like, I mean, it's kind of crazy that like the creators of Journey have a new game and no one is talking about it. And I don't really know what Apple got out of this deal either, because it's like,
Because it's a mobile game.
whatever. But like,
Well, no, because the thing is, this wasn't even designed as a mobile game. It was designed to help sell Apple TV 4Ks, right,
Yes.
or whatever the thing is. Because they had it on their stage 2 years ago. That's where they announced it. They said we have this exclusive partnership with that game company. Journey won a bunch of Game of the Year awards. Flowers well liked, and they're gonna make a game for us. And then they do nothing with it, right? And eventually, it falls to the
'cause
wayside.
Apple stopped giving a shit about Apple TV gaming, right? And then so it feels like that game company kind of just got screwed in this deal, right? Because it's like it came out exclusively, but like the platform holder is not promoting it at all, right? Like it's just like Apple could be shouting from the heavens that, hey, this is only on our platforms, right? But they're not, and it's like it's especially weird to me because it's coming out so late. You would think it would just get retooled to launch with Apple Arcade coming out in 2 months, right? Because it's clearly where Apple's gaming push is now, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. This whole release is weird, strange. It's just and disappointing, right?
I mean, it's the thing that's frustrating, I think, for the mobile game space in general, right? Because especially, I think for a long time, before this generation really got into the flow of things, and PS4 started doing well, and things are doing good now. There was companies that were looking at like, what should we go into mobile? Should we not? Right? I mean, you even see companies like HAL and Game Freak making games for other platforms. HAL made UFO Catcher. That was them, right?
UFO 50.
Yeah.
UFO 50, right? And like these guys made Kirby. They have a long storied history, and like suddenly they're nobodies when they're on the Apple Store.
Part-time UFO.
Part-time
50
UFO
is the minigame
Is it-
collection from.
Thank you. I'm happy we corrected that.
Yeah.
But like I think that is, and then that happened with Game Freak in a similar way. Like there's just the desire to move to mobile, I think, is really alluring. But I think that for so many of these companies, they forget what it's like to not have a console maker support you.
Yeah.
And the difference that can make.
And I mean, we've spent a lot of time not on this podcast, just this podcast episode, but like a lot. But I'm gonna do it again. But like, I feel like Switch, right, has become the ideal platform for this kind of game.
Yeah, I'm looking at the screens right now, and I'm kind of hoping it goes multi-platform because it looks kind of
They
nice.
did say it's going multi-platform for sure. Yes.
Oh.
But it's just like it's almost like honestly the indie space. Like if you're making a small game and it's like a creative type game, right? I almost wonder if it's just a better idea to put that on Switch than it is mobile. Because like that mobile the space. I mean, it used to be a blue ocean, right? But it is now like you have to have money to be able to just advertise the shit out of your game that also sucks money out of your consumers' wallets.
That's how Mafia works.
That's how Mafia works.
And yeah, I mean, mobile is not this haven for, oh, my game could be a mega hit. It's not that haven anymore, right? It's become this very I mean, the people who are putting out hits these days are people who already put out hits, you know?
Yeah. It's hard to go up against the Candy Crush guys when they quietly put out another version of a match 3 game every 6 months, you know?
Yeah, and then
and then it's literally advertised on everything.
Like the Supercell's Clash of Clans games. There's 7 of those, you know?
Yeah.
Listen, if they wanted to sell their game, they should have got Kate Upton to do some videos.
Yeah, I mean,
That's true.
It's just that simple, you know?
Game of War is back.
Yeah, so I don't know. Mobile's a weird space right now. Yeah, it's just
or pay YouTubers like that. What's that one that there's one right now it's an RPG. Almost every YouTuber I see is promoting this game, and I'm like, what the fuck, dude? These paid promotions. Yeah.
I mean, because that's I mean that's interesting too, right? Because there is advertising, like you said, in the mobile space is so confusing because you're both trying to target the widest market, but also target niches at the same time, right? Which is where you do influencer stuff, right? These are people that are supposed to be engaged in games, right? Which is why you pay these guys to talk about your game. But then also to make it work, you need to have a player base of millions at the same time, you know? If you're going to be pouring that type of marketing money in, and that's where I feel there's a clash. Not of champions,
clans.
but of
Clash of Champions, download it on iOS or Android.
Please.
But yes, do it.
But yeah, I mean, so Sky, it came out and it's a thing. Maybe check it out. I've heard good things actually. Truth be told, from the few people who have played it, they're like, yeah, this is it's really rad. But I don't know. It's just weird. It's kind of almost sad, right? That the developer of Journey, which was a huge hit, it just kind of, here you go. Here's Sky.
Yeah.
You know? But one last piece of news that I want to talk about, not Dragon Ball FighterZ, related to Dragon Ball FighterZ, Evo 2019. The final registration numbers are in. Mr. Wizard tweeted this out, and I'm just going to tweet the order that they're in. But basically, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate has the most entrants in this Evo. Surprise, surprise, right?
Biggest Smash tournament ever.
Yeah, the biggest Smash tournament ever. So that's a kind of a big deal. Then it is Street Fighter V. Street Fighter V and Tekken were kind of fighting for the second and third spot.
Yeah. This
whole time, but Street Fighter finally eked it out.
There's 50 people separating them, right? So it's very close.
By the way, Smash has 1,500 more than the second
Street Fighter.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
Damn.
Yeah.
Not a fighting game, quote unquote.
Tekken 7 is third. Like Will said, they're separated literally, but surprisingly, right after this, Samurai Showdown, and just 100 less than Tekken.
Yeah.
Which is a pretty strong showing from Sam Show.
Yeah.
This is also the biggest SNK game tournament ever. So, at least for Evo. So that's a pretty big deal. It might be the biggest ever, probably, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, where else would it be happening? Except for, maybe somewhere in Mexico, because they love King of Fighters.
Mortal Kombat 11 has 200 less than that. Then Under Night in Birth, something.
Stella?
EX, something.
That shit.
Yeah.
Below that is... Oh, no, sorry. Dragon Ball FighterZ actually had more than Under Night. Then it's Under Night. But they were separated by literally 40 entrants. Under Night and Dragon Ball. Then it's Soul Calibur and Blaze Blue with the least. Funnily, Blaze Blue is the least, but it is also a Sunday game, one of the 4 coveted Sunday spots. I feel like, and this is just pure speculation on my part, but I feel like there was some politics going on with the Sunday games this time, where it's like, all right, ArcSys, Nintendo, Bamco, Capcom, you all get one game for Sunday. You know? You're our biggest partners. You all get one game for Sunday.
Pick yours.
And ArcSys only had Blaze Blue this year, so.
Yeah, because people will say, well, what about Fighters? But that's Bamco that owns it, right?
That's a Bamco game, and so ArcSys would not be happy with that because they want to promote the game that they make more money off of.
Yeah.
Directly. So yeah. But Blaze Blue's Blaze Blue also has the advantage of being very fast, though, so it's a very good Sunday game.
Yeah.
Worth noting, Sunday is also cut down from 5 to 4. So for the first time in history, Evo Sunday might end on a reasonable time frame.
God bless. Last
knock on
year was
wood,
awful.
But, like, yeah, lately Evo has been just running stupid late, you know.
Street
So I think
Fighter
cutting down
finals
to
last
4,
year were at 2:35 a.m. on the East Coast.
That's just too late.
That is
Yeah.
shocking.
You know, like, yeah, so that's good. I think the biggest stories here, Smash is obviously, I mean, this is huge, right? Like, Smash Brothers is the new king of Evo.
Yeah.
Smash Ultimate.
That's right.
Long live the king.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, Mr. Wizard said that Sunday they're shaking things up, so Street Fighter may not end up being the closing game this year for the
Yeah.
first time ever.
Is it going to be Smash Brothers?
So
Yeah.
I mean, I would assume so, but it might be.
Well, I
Tekken.
mean, sort of the two prevailing thoughts were Smash Ultimate and Tekken, right?
Yeah.
Those are the two that are
because
competitors.
Tekken is
essentially.
on the rise. You know,
Yes.
like Tekken, and has been consistently in the last couple of years I would say the most entertaining game at Evo. You know,
Yeah, it's super
people-
fun to watch Tekken.
yeah, people have had a blast watching that, right? It's not just me. Like the common sentiment seems to be like Tekken, like
Yeah.
oh man, like it's great.
And it
So-
skews maybe Tekken because you know it'll be right. Like this will be the biggest Smash Ultimate tournament. I don't expect it to be like boring to watch, but you know Tekken's going to be
Yeah.
a good watch, right? And
Yes.
when you're booking your main event, that's sort of sometimes
Yeah.
safety.
But it
they
could
can
be
learn that
Smash
too.
because Smash Ultimate is.
Huge.
I mean, it cannot be understated how
Yeah.
big Smash Ultimate is.
Yeah.
You know, it's not just like a casual game anymore. Like the competitive scene for Smash is huge, right? Like
Yeah.
undeniably so.
I mean, when Mr. Wizard did the poll of what game should be the final game of Sunday, Smash won by 57%.
Yeah, and there was 4 options on that. You know,
It
and,
was
like,
Blaze Blue.
It alone
Tekken,
took
yeah.
over
Oh
half
my
the vote.
God.
So
Yeah.
you know.
And so, I mean, but Tekken was 26, but the other sad story of that is that Street Fighter is at 12%, and Evo is the Street Fighter place. Like,
Yes.
all the organizers have ties to Street Fighter that are 20 years old. The people that would attend for a long time would be a Street Fighter, and now it feels like it's a non-factor in the fighting game scene on the whole, but in this tournament that represents so much of fighting games, you know?
Yeah, and it's especially baffling, like, for Street Fighter V. You know, this game that tripled down on the competitive scene,
Mhm.
right? Like this game was all about, hey, fighting game community, this game is for you, you know? And just to see it on the downturn like this, and also just not, like, before, like, Evo is Street Fighter to a lot of people, you know?
Yeah.
And it's just like, that is no longer the case. I mean, I think that's a good sign for Evo in that it's very successfully diversified, I think, right? Like,
Yeah.
it is not just Street Fighter now, right? It is very much like, this is a celebration of fighting games, right? But then on the flip side, it's like Street Fighter is no longer the king of fighting games, you know? Like,
Yeah.
and
And that's
so
an
it's
interesting
like-
shift. Because
It's a
Street
weird
Fighter
position
4,
to be in.
I mean, would Tekken 7 exist as it does if Street Fighter 4 didn't bring back fighting games to a mainstream in a big way, right? Like,
Yeah.
PS2 and original Xbox was like a famously bad generation for a lot of historical fighting game franchises in terms of popularity, but then Street Fighter 4 happens, it sells, it's still it was the best-selling Capcom game before Monster Hunter or whatever, right? Or Resident Evil. And like now it's in a completely different place,
Yeah, I mean, Street Fighter, it's just a weird place. And I think, like, Street Fighter 5 is kind of winding down. And you could say that's because it's a couple years old or whatever, but it's still, like, I mean, Street Fighter's never been in this position, of just, like, I mean, not irrelevance, but, like, it's certainly not, like, it doesn't have the gravitas that it once had,
Yeah. I mean, it was the fighting game.
I
That's
think
not
the other big thing is, like, I mean, shout out to Sam Show, right? Like, strong showing for that game. That game's going to have a very... It'll be interesting to see, because, like, people are excited to play it. We'll see how it turns out.
Well, it's super good word of mouth right now, right? Like,
Yeah.
and the funny thing is that it has a different pace than a lot of the other fighting games, and
Yeah,
that's
but
good for programming.
It'll be an interesting watch. And then Dragon Ball Fighters, I mean, that decline is worth noting.
It's
because-
huge. I mean, last year it had the most number of entrants ever at Evo.
Yeah, and it had the best viewership last year.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's certainly not going to this year,
Yeah. And now it's
like-
struggling to get past Under Night, which is like a super niche game,
Yeah, and that's like, I mean, that's concerning. You know, it's just like I don't like the state of the competitive scene of that game. It's like, and there's been a lot of factors to reach there, right? Like, I mean, the whole mess of, oh, you can't stream this game anymore. Oh, just kidding, yeah, you can. But like that whole like, okay, well, should I even bother playing this game if I don't know if like
we're pulling out of prize pools out of tournaments, you know, like stuff like that.
That was the thing for Dragon Ball FighterZ.
Yeah, that was the thing. Yeah, because I don't know who was doing that, but one of the Dragon Ball rights holders was being very
they were
scummy.
like, you can't stream the game anymore.
Basically, you have to pay us if you want to.
Yeah, you're either going to get copyright
like
stricken or
Toei shit right there.
Yeah, actually, Toei ended up saying it was not us. It was
Oh, okay.
It's it starts with a SH. I don't know. I forget what it's called.
I mean, and they had other stuff with like tournaments where they pulled out money that they had promised to tournaments for winners, a bunch of other stuff, and so you know,
like a lot of weird play. And then also, I think like the patches have not been well received by the community. You know, the game itself has kind of stagnated in a weird way, and people are not really happy with the state of it.
Yeah.
So, I don't know what that means for the next Fighters game, but you know, we'll see. But yeah, so that's our little Evo roundup. Excited to watch Evo this year, though.
This is a good lineup of video games. I'm very excited.
It's a good lineup, yeah.
I've never really watched Evo. I might, like, I think I might have watched a couple here and there. I'm not like really big into it, but I don't mind just watching it like a little bit.
Yeah,
bro.
Yeah.
I mean, you might tune in for like Smash, right? Which is like.
Yeah, that's what I really care about.
Yeah.
I don't watch people play video games. I play video games, okay?
At Evo. Look for Ills on stage.
This guy.
But yeah, so that's all the news for this week. Now we move on to a dear tradition of ours. The list! Saf, it is your turn to pick a game.
Follow along in the paste bin below.
I don't know who the fuck picked, but someone picked.
I picked last week. Thank you very
Brandon
much.
picked. What did you pick?
Oh, yeah.
Tomb Raider 2013.
Tomb Raider. And it ended up where?
On the list.
On the list.
By the way,
ended up at 33. 33.
By the way, you can follow along the list in the paste bin in the description below, so you can know what the fuck we're talking about. But we're gonna rank video games basically, and Saf is gonna add into that ranking.
Yes, I am.
Saf,
I'm gonna rank.
what the fuck?
I'm
is
gonna
the game?
add 999 for the Nintendo for the Nintendo DS. On this.
That's a good pick, Saf.
I'm out.
9 hours.
What are the
Alright.
9 stand for?
9 hours.
9 persons, 9
doors.
doors, 9 whatever.
Everyone talked at once. So I don't know
9
what you
minutes.
said, but
Well, let's let Saf answer it.
9 hours, 9 persons.
Saf, tell us about the game.
9 doors. Alright. So, the game itself, it's a
Jesus
visual novel game, and it's also a puzzle game. Like, it's split into 2 parts. And it is a mystery game where it follows yourself and 8 other people. And they're stuck, they're trapped in a sinking ship, and it kind of plays out like a escape the room type situation, where you have to go through the storyline, you have to solve the puzzles, and you have to try and figure out what the mystery is, and reach one of the 6 different endings to that game. It's
Why not 9?
blame the writer.
Sounds like a missed opportunity.
Would have been too many
I'm gonna put it in hell because of that.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm gonna put it in hell just because it's a visual
6
novel.
is 9 upside down though, so it's
I
good.
just, yeah, that's true. That's true.
So, Chuck,
Is it the not the square root? What do they call it? The thing.
Don't worry
no,
about it.
it's okay. No, it's a
Alright,
Chunsoft game, and it is a really good game. Like, it's one of those weird ones where a lot of the good elements is just the story and the puzzles. Like, it sets itself apart from the other visual novel games because of its puzzles. But one of the negatives, or one of the criticisms I had for that game is the fact that it's like most of the endings are pretty shit. And you have to redo the game, like the entirety of the game, just so that you can get one of the other endings.
Yeah.
So
Well,
if
you
we're
don't have to
talking
do the
about the
entirety
DS
of it.
version,
So-
see, if we're talking about the DS version, then yes. If we're talking about the re-release, then no.
Oh, they fixed that. Okay.
They fixed
we do-
that.
So for the list, we do usually consider the best version of
Okay.
the game. So
Yeah.
we should take that into account. So that is actually not a flaw,
Okay.
yes.
I'll take that. Did he
In
fix
999.
the other part of it, where it's like if you get one ending to the game, you lock out the true ending to that game?
But
No.
aren't the puzzles like not existent in the non-DS versions of the game?
No, they're still there.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I guess I misheard.
It's just they don't have touchscreen controls. You use the analog stick. to
Okay,
move
but they're
around.
still there.
But-
Okay,
Mhm.
because I
Yeah,
will say, I
yeah.
think like it's very cool. This game that the puzzle element actually is a big part of it, right? Like it's
Fucking
not.
awesome.
It's way
it-
more
it-
than a lot of visual novels.
Yeah.
It's not just like because I threw this criticism at Danganronpa, right? Because like I feel like a lot of the elements of that game are there just because like they want to have some sort of gameplay element, right?
Some sort of interactivity for
Yeah.
the player.
But
Yeah.
this one's very strongly integrated into the narrative itself, right? And like
Yeah.
I think it kind of adds to the tension of the game,
Yeah.
right?
It's. I want to mention too. It was like 2 weeks ago where we talked about Steam Summer Games, and
Yeah.
I told people they should pick up this game, part of the Nonary games, like the
trilogy.
The collection, yeah.
Yeah, it was on sale, and like I recommended it then. Like I could gush about this game all day, man. I love the whole series, honestly.
I mean, I
Fucking
haven't
great.
even played Virtue's Last Reward, which everyone says is incredible. I should get on that. But 999 itself is an incredible standalone experience too, though.
Oh,
you know, it's
sure,
it's
for sure.
definitely not like you don't need to play the sequels to get enjoyment out of this
No.
game.
You don't, which is great.
It's a very self-contained story, and like, I mean, the characters in this game are great, right? Like just the hook of. I mean, I was tense the whole time I was playing
So,
this. You know?
Yeah, it's my way to explain this game to people is it's like they mix Saw with an escape room. Like
Oh,
That's a good
sure.
way to
Yeah.
put it.
Yeah.
that's,
Because it's very
that's
much-
what it reminds me of.
If you don't solve the puzzles in the proper way, people can get killed depending on the
Yeah.
decisions you make. Yeah. And so, because
Mm-hmm.
everyone has like a little thing that's like a countdown essentially to like their death.
And you have a guy on a speaker that's like, you want to play a game kind of dude, you know, whose name is Zero, and everybody else is named numbers, which it's so cool. The characters in that game too, man, fucking
Yeah.
good.
There's a good sense of mystery to it that I like
Mhm.
a lot as it unveils itself. And there's moments where were parts of the game that I just assumed were going to be, it's a video game, this is how it works. Like they actually made sense in the world of it. They went that extra mile, which for a game like this, which is like part visual novel, means a lot to it.
Yeah, I really liked going through, and when you play the game and you have to make certain choices to go through different doors with different people, and when you get those people, you know, you get different characters interacting with each other, and like every playthrough is a little bit different, which I love it, right? Because you get these different like interactions between different types of people, and you get to know them more, and it's like interesting to go back to another one where you're like, oh, like, you know, I played through the game, I got this ending, but I didn't know anything about this guy, right? Because I never got to go through any of the doors with him, and you go through it again, you get to just like, wow, it's really cool. I like that aspect of it.
And I will say, like, even playing the DS version myself, I didn't actually mind as much as Saf did going through and playing the game again, you know? Because, like,
It's a
sure,
bit of a chore,
the
but yeah.
intro takes a while to get started, for sure, right? But once you get going, like, it is, like, it is very interesting. I mean, like, yeah, there's one, like, true ending, right? But, like, there's...
Yeah.
I think the other endings also do a really good job of, like, showing sides to some characters that you didn't know existed, right?
Like you still factor them in, right? There's not like this
and-
just like throw them out. when you get
and
the
it
trailer.
really fleshes out the world even more, right? You really like. I mean, these characters are not just one-dimensional. Like, hey, I like chicken, and that's all I do is I like chicken.
Name a character in games that is just that.
I mean, half of the Danganronpa cast.
Okay, that's not true.
Okay, sure.
Might as well bet burgers.
But like, yeah, I mean, yeah, 999 is a very cool game. Saf, where do you want it on the list?
Initially, before Brandon told me about the
Initially.
re-release stuff, I was going to put it below Phoenix Wright because, like, redoing the game, like as much as fun I had the first time, redoing the game and getting the endings that weren't like I got the true ending, and then redoing it to get the worst endings didn't feel that satisfactory. So I just wanted to put
The true ending in that game,
the true ending
I
is
love it.
fantastic. Yeah, it's really really good.
Yeah.
But the rest of the other games are just kind of like make you feel kind of shitty. Like you didn't want any of those.
Yeah.
kinds of-
The first ending I ever got, because I didn't get the true ending the first time, you know, the first ending I ever got was like made me just feel like, wow, that sucked.
That's it. Yeah,
I mean, it clearly is
Yeah.
intended. You get the vibe that this. I didn't get the thing. I didn't do the right thing there.
Yeah.
I would say it's the best of the visual novels that we have on the list, at the very least.
Sure.
Like, I would put
I would
it
agree
above
with that.
Danganronpa.
Sure, because it's got the most gameplay elements mixed in.
I think also just the story it tells is in my opinion the strongest of them. You know,
There's not as much.
and I
fat
learned a
to
lot.
it.
I learned a lot about the Titanic.
Yes, true. You will learn.
Same. Yeah, I learned a lot. I also
Weird
learned
flex.
what it taught me what prosopagnosia is.
Yeah.
Which is face blindness.
Yeah.
It taught me, honestly, it taught me a lot. You know, the game.
For
it goes-
learning, let's put it top. No. I would
Entertainment.
definitely put it above Danganronpa. Here's my question:
It goes above
Telltale's
Tomb
Walking
Raider.
Dead season
I
1,
where's Walking Dead?
40.
3 above it.
Above.
I would put it above Tomb Raider.
What?
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was gonna put it above Star Fox 64.
Right. I mean, I guess. Because
I was gonna put it above Walking Dead season 1, but below Valkyria.
I was not
The
gonna
list
rank
is
it
a
at all.
I don't think it's better than The Walking Dead season 1.
Okay, no, see, I'm looking at it. Tomb Raider is actually just too high is the problem. So we
Yeah.
don't want to
You-
make that.
you
We
weren't
don't want to
here.
make that mistake, you know, of just
Of
putting
course.
things high because there's one wrong, very incredibly wrong thing.
Yeah,
on
I
the
mean,
list.
Okay.
Oh yeah, that
alright.
one's incredibly wrong.
How about show up, alright, bitch?
I'd be
How about that?
I'd be willing to put it above Star Fox. Because I don't. Because
Yeah,
I don't.
'cause
I'm not
the
sure if I would
thing-
put it
No,
above.
but I
Fire
agree
Emblem.
with you that it should be above. I would put it above Walking Dead.
Nah, The Walking Dead has such an emotional, and it tells such a good ass fucking story, dude.
Yeah,
The
I mean,
first season, the first fucking.
so I was
Uh,
thinking like, because I like Walking Dead a whole lot, right? And I think that probably like Clementine is like a better character, but I think the cast of 999 I like overall more. And I because I think, I mean, Walking Dead has the thing that is a fixture of a lot of zombie media, of just characters that I'm like, you're so stupid, and like they have to, because someone has to be there to knock the door down to mess everything up to let the zombies in. But like,
You can say all you want, Will, and I'm gonna let you, but I'm just gonna say I will never agree because The Walking Dead made me cry. This game didn't make me cry.
Well,
Alright.
but like, see, with 999, I think it's interesting because like I was on edge the whole time because I don't know who to trust, you know.
Trust
And
no
then it
one.
was interesting to learn, oh, I can trust this guy who I thought I could not at all, and then vice versa, you know. But like it just kind of kept me on edge the whole game of like it's similar vibes to Danganronpa, you know, where it's like I don't like. I mean, any of these people could be the bad guy,
Yeah.
right?
Not
Yeah.
Sakura.
Or if not the bad guy, just trying to screw me over to
get out of here. Yeah.
you know, for their own gain. And I think the game did an amazing job of setting that tension, you know.
Yeah, you're right on that one.
And also, I mean, the story is genuinely just that's a great narrative, and it's also I give this game props in particular because it's a story that could only be told through the medium of video games. You know, like this game would not work as a visual, like as just
A
text.
book.
You
Yeah.
know?
Or a movie.
Yeah.
So just for that, I kind of give it props. You know, just the very unique use of the medium to tell a story like no other, and I think that it deserves props for that.
I mean, yeah. I mean, it's a fucking fantastic story, and I like it a lot. It didn't hit me as hard as Walking Dead. I wouldn't put it above that. I don't even think I'd put it above Awakening in terms of gameplay wise, because Awakening is real fucking good.
Saf, where are you looking at?
Rosie makes some really good points. Like, it's hard to disagree. Like, I only played the DS version, so I was soured on that. But I guess like they kind of fixed the problems with the DS version. So it's like when you remove those elements, I feel as though it should be raised higher because like that was my main issue. So
Well, we were already putting it higher
Yeah.
than what you wanted it.
So,
Yeah.
but it's
So
not.
where
There's
we're
not much of
going
an
right
argument
now.
from you then at that point, then, isn't it?
Does it get above Walking Dead or not? Is the question. Sorry.
I don't think he played The Walking Dead.
I played Walking Dead.
Damn,
yeah.
blown out,
Yeah.
Brandon.
Okay. I said I don't think. I didn't say he didn't. I wasn't
What do you think,
sure.
Jeff?
So, Safi, where are you feeling? Walking Dead or
I put it above Walking Dead.
or
I put it above
Alrighty,
Valkyria
that's
Chronicles.
three.
Clementine fucking weeps. Man.
See, I would agree with putting above Valkyrie Chronicles, but that's just gonna be 2-2, and I don't
Yeah.
want it like this. So
I'll put
I'm
it
just-
above Punch Out. If we're going above Walking Dead, I'll put it above Punch Out.
Screw it, let's put it above Tomb Raider, like Moose said
Nature,
originally.
no, I wouldn't put it above Shovel Knight, though.
The spike
Well-
comes out.
Well, no, because that's the thing, though. Sometimes you move it up and you're
Since
like,
it's already there.
You know, if it's
Yeah,
past
yeah.
the game I don't think it's better than,
Yeah.
you know.
So I mean, are we gonna put it above Punch Out? I'm willing to put it.
Nah, I put it above Valkyria, but not above Punch Out.
What? That's weird. I wouldn't put it above Valkyria, but I would put it above Punch Out.
I mean, the problem is Valkyrie is too low. We've discussed this before, but
Yeah.
Well, the real problem is Fire Emblem Awakening's too low.
yeah,
Also
yeah,
true.
yeah.
That's the real problem.
Yeah.
But they're both
But-
true.
So what are we
Um,
doing?
Punch
what-
Out's too high.
What are we just gonna settle for the original above Walking Dead? That seems like the most time-saving option.
I mean, I'm not settling with it, but I'm on the minority here. So.
I mean, Brendan, you said you would. I would put it above Punch Out. I don't know if Will. Can we get Will? Can we get a third to put it above Punch Out?
Will?
It will die. Okay.
Yeah, I
Alright.
think I would.
That's right.
Okay, all right. It's
Done.
above Punch Out. Okay, so the final placement of 999. 9. I don't know what the fucking title is.
9 hours, 9 persons, 9 doors.
Number 38, surrounding it is number 36, GoldenEye 007. Number 37, Shovel Knight Treasure Trove. Number 38, 999. Number 39, Punch Out. And number 40, Valkyria Chronicles.
Club game. Shout out.
Shout out. Speaking of, Brandon, you want to talk about the Game Club and all the other places you can find the Jump Up Supercast?
You know, I would absolutely fucking love to.
Okay.
The Jump Up Supercast Game Club is a bi-weekly show that we upload every single Thursday. That is a game. It's a game club. It's like a book club, but with video games, and all of us except for Muzzy are there. Well, and Saf.
And Saf.
I mean, Saf's not there anymore. He used to be, so you can listen to some old
Yay.
episodes of Saf. Besides the point, and also Noah, our good friend, is there as well. But we play video games. We every single 2 weeks we'll come together and talk about the game we played. Most recently, it was DuckTales on the NES. I chose that game for us to play. And then soon coming up, we have We Love Katamari. That
Exciting.
Will picked.
Find out if we do.
Do we?
And where can people find us?
So, if you want to know how much if we love Katamari, you can find us on SoundCloud and iTunes and any other podcatcher that might catch your interest. That you just want to Google Jump Up Supercast and look for us, you certainly can. But we can also find us on social media platforms where we're going to post the SoundCloud link. Just bring you directly there. If you're too lazy to find us, just go ahead and like us on Facebook, on Twitter. We're always going to be posting the episodes. And give us a follow on Instagram. We post I like to, most recently, because I run the Instagram account, I post, the thumbnails for the game club a lot. Because, it's an easy, hey, here's a picture I made. So, if you want to get a nice up-close view and try to find where I put Michelangelo in the picture, 'cause sometimes he's kind of hard to find, you can always check out the Instagram.
It's like, where's Waldo?
It is. It's kind of fun. And, yeah, I think... We also have Twitch. Oh, I almost forgot to. Also, YouTube. Follow YouTube. Shout out to Ills who
all the
uploads.
episodes are on YouTube. We're on Twitch.tv. I don't know if Twitch.tv says Jump Up Supercast. I don't know if we have in a while, but we should. One day we will. I promise. Just hit that follow button and you'll know when we stream. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
just
saying?
hit follow. I mean, we're trying to get to that
50.
prolific
50.
50, so that we can become whatever the fuck it is, approved
Yeah.
Partner.
partner. We want to be
See?
partners.
If my computer didn't break, things would have been a lot nicer. But yeah,
Croc remains unfinished.
Our good friend Muzzy streams on Mixer.
I do stream on Mixer on my personal account.
You try
No
to find him, but
commentary, failing in Sekiro.
Yeah, no commentary, just dying over and over in Sekiro Shadows Die Twice.
we won't tell you where to find him. You can try to find him
Yeah.
though, if you're a sleuth.
Yeah, exactly. But because I am hosting and because I haven't been on and I have the power to do so, I'm gonna take the final word for myself. Very selfish.
Wow. If it was Will, he would have given it to Ilse.
I know,
Yeah.
but I refuse.
Fast.
To which I say, Sega, I'm tired of your shit, okay? Please just give the people Super Monkey Ball. That's all they want. And while you're at it, you have a huge treasure trove of fucking games that you just literally just shit out, you know? It doesn't even, you don't even have to you don't have to add a map to Phantasy Star, you know? You just
No, you fucking don't.
Uh,
Don't add maps. I had to suffer.
Yeah, just you know, like I want to play Skies of Arcadia again. You know, Jet Set Radio. I've never played, but that would be dope. You know, you just have just a massive library of games. Please use them. You don't just look at Konami. They don't fucking make games, but they are making sure we can play their old games. So yeah, that's all. See you later.